What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Trading My Funded Account. Today is day number 53. It's December the 26th, 2023. We made some trades today, so let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about the important levels that we have on the chart today. So yesterday's closing price, which is the closing price from Friday on December, what was that? 23rd? No, December 22nd. So that closing price from Friday was 37,745, and that's represented by this purple line down towards the bottom of the chart. So let's go ahead and talk about the trades that we made today. So trade number one, prices were trading in a range between yesterday's closing price at the purple line right here and zone A that we have right here. So they were pretty much bouncing back and forth in between these two levels. So all I did was I went long at the lows of the zone and then I exited at the top. So once the market opened at 9:30, we had a nice move to the upside, came all the way back up to the top of the zone, came back to retest the bottom. We had a long tail candle wick that brought us back into the zone above yesterday's closing price. So once that happened, I went long right here and just took it back up to the top of the zone right here. All right, so that's a textbook trade when it comes to trading the zone. So I'm happy about that one. And then we come back to trade number two right here. So let's read the notes. So on trade two, I shorted here after the lower high at B, where this blue circle is. Right after that, push prices back into the zone. So I was expecting that overall, since we were in the zone, prices hit the top of it, push back into the lower portion of the zone after a lower high got formed. That was pretty much all of the signals that I needed to go ahead and short and take prices back down to the bottom of the range. That's what I was expecting. But one thing that I've also noticed is that when you're trading the zone, you got to remember that you trade the zone from the dominant side, meaning that you need to figure out where prices were moving before the zone got established. So before this entire consolidation was established, prices were making a very strong move to the upside. So more than likely, they'll probably break out to the upside eventually. So if you're trying to short the top of the range, it might work for you a few times, but eventually you'll end up getting caught in that breakout, which is what happened to me right here where I shorted. So even though I did have all of the selling signals that I needed, I still needed to recognize the fact that I got to trade the zone from the dominant side, which in this case was the long side. So if anything, I just should have been looking to go long like I did at trade one. So maybe I could have went long right here as prices came back to retest yesterday's closing price once again. All right. So that was just right there. I just felt like that was a loss I had to take. You know, I just didn't notice. Well, I kind of skipped over and glossed over the fact that we were trending upwards before this zone got established. So just something to remember. Make sure you trade the zone from the dominant side. Very important. All right. So that brings us to trade number three. Now at three, I went long here as prices came back to retest the higher low from point number C. Now notice once we established this higher low, we came back, retested it. So I went long. Now this trade at trade three, it came back to break even. And sometimes when you take your best setups, that's just the way the cookie is going to crumble. And I'm okay with that because to me, trade three was a great entry. I did everything I was supposed to. The trend was up. We had already broken out of a prior zone. So I saw where the market was moving. I waited for my setup and I traded it perfectly. I went long as close as I possibly could towards support and I did fairly well. Only thing was it came right back to stop me out at my break even and then it continued to move on in my direction. And sometimes you just got to deal with that, you know. But I think what you want to remember in situations like these is that you don't want to get that revenge bug going in your system, meaning that you don't want to chase the market and try and catch anything off of that trade because you see it going in your favor without you. You know, that goes back to what I was talking about on the video from before where I said the market is always going to be there and it's going to give you plenty of opportunities to make the money that you want to make and take the trades that you want to. You just can't rush it. All right. So if you miss one setup, don't chase it. So I think I did a really good job here of just being disciplined and saying, look, all right, it moved up without me, but it's okay. Let me wait for the next possible trade. And when I see my setup that I'm looking for, that's what I'll take. And that's pretty much what led me to trade four right here. So I went long here at the bottom of the zone and then I took it back up to the top. We were trading in the zone between higher low C and the top of this zone at the blue line at 825. So once I saw prices come back down, I saw them come back down on high momentum. And they also had a long tail candle wick that brought prices back into the zone. So I went long right there after the candle closed. and I took prices back up to the top, and I just follow my trading plan. That's exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to a zone. I'm trading the zone from the dominant side, which was the long side on this occasion. I went long as close as I possibly could towards support at the lows of the zone, and then I took it all the way back up to the top of the zone, and I didn't get out early. I got out exactly where I was supposed to get out at. So that right there was a textbook trade for me, and I decided to call it a day after that, because if you remember from the last video, the biggest thing that I talked about was the fact that I trade best between 9:30 and 11:30. So if I can come in between that time and make my profit and make my good trades, I'm done for today. So I made the profit that I needed to today. I was happy with my performance. I shut it down. I did my trade review, and now I'm here going over the notes. So that's exactly what I feel like I should be doing every single day. You know, look for your setups, follow your trading plan, and learn from your mistakes. And I think that's really the biggest thing that I was able to do today. And overall, I would say today was a good day. It was a good performance. I had a lot of time to think over the weekend. You know, being able to see my family over the holiday, it really energized me and gave me the motivation that I needed to just go out and be successful. So I was like, look, let me come in here today, make my family proud, and do what I know I'm supposed to, which is follow my trading plan. I feel like I did a great job of doing that. So I think the things that I need to focus on and I need to get better at, I need to remember that when you're trading the zone, make sure you trade it from that dominant side. If the dominant side is the long side, you need to be looking to go long. If the dominant side is the short side, you need to be looking to short the zone from the top, and that's it. You know, you could trade both sides of the zone if you want to, but you're just opening yourself up to a lot more risk. So that's really the biggest improvement that I need to work on. But I feel like once I get that under my belt and I continue to follow my trading plan like I know I should, everything should be good, and I should be able to come back tomorrow and continue making profits. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in with me again today. It's been a good day so far. I hope you learned a lot, because I know that I definitely did. I'll be back tomorrow on December the 27th, 2023, ready to run it back one more time. But until then, you guys, have a good one, study hard, and take it easy.